Abore came in, I noticed that we needed a central working committee. So we had the likes of Fatih Kari, we had the likes of Tade Oyinola, we had the likes of we are about um, 10 of us that were in that thing. And we now decided that we are going to have different groups for different things. We first itemize all the elements of the event. And when we got the elements, we now had different WhatsApp group. And we are now talking about between 19 and 20 WhatsApp group. Now to the central working committee, as it were, that was the last that was meant to be the last bus stop of decision making. But no, there was another decision making, which was four of us. We look at what the central working committee has done. We look at what the WhatsApp group, all the things, media, food, drinks, venue, logistics, communication, tagging, school, and we had two events in one, because on Friday we had a cocktail, on Saturday was a major event. So after the central working committee has spoken, then the four of us will meet. I would say that let me just say the four of us was myself, um, Matthew, um, Abolore, and Wemimo. So that's we look at everything. What have we done? What have we not done? What did the central committee miss and everything? So that one went like that, and we are working back to back. Now 79 days to the day we didn't have a kobo in our kitty. And I woke up one morning, I was disturbed, and I said, and the thing is that I didn't want to go and meet, Iboji that, we just brought on board and start asking for money, I didn't want that. We needed a venue. And I knew if we didn't have, when the money, I knew the money would start coming in, but the money were not there yet. So, and I called Abolore. I said, Abolore, this thing we are doing, we have issues. We may have money, and that by the time we have money, we won't have a venue. And I said, so we have to key a venue in the next 48 hours. So I gave him a proposal of, the venues we discussed with the consultant and everything like that. So we now decided on international conference center, which is big. That's where the president meets presidents and everything like that. When we called them, they told us that the bill was, I think, was 80 million or something like that. And I said, Abolore, we have to do a deposit. They said we should bring, as God will have it. It was Abolore's birthday. And I said he was going to give me a birthday gift that I should go and pay the deposit or more. I don't know if that's permitted to say on air, but my heart, my heart dripped. That's how we keyed the venue. So going back and forth, we are doing so many other things. Money side coming in. Abore at the end of the day picked the whole bill for the venue. So that took a lot of. I mean, these are the kind of passion that everybody that can afford it for their alumni is expected. It should be your default that you are giving back to your school. If you can afford it, why not? Your school, we don't need to beg. I didn't need to beg at Bolore. I just said this is what we want to do and everything like that. And there are so many people, Osade, General Mohammed, there are people as we talk that I'm going to might mention their name. You don't need to talk to them. Just say you have a concern, and the money is brought, because they can afford it. But I also know, and that's the fact of life, that there are people that can afford it, and no matter what you do, you go there with orchestra and sing to them, they'll not budge. So in this business, you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So and then I have to talk about DIG Chiroma retired. I just told him that we're having VIPs. I just want some police coverage. What I saw on ground that day, I knew that something has happened. Bomb disposal was there. Two ambulances were there. About um, about 40 security of all kinds were there. And guess what? We didn't pay a couple. Everything was there. I mean, this is it. You have to use your position to make sure that, because Obasanjo is coming, which is a fact. We wrote letters to the DSS that we're having VIPs, because we don't want anything to. I don't know if they came with, DSS. You don't see them, But we wrote to a DSS, wrote to civil defense, wrote to police, and it was police that, as I said, DIG Chiroma came in. So I also want to tell us that I had challenges with personalities, and then I mean I had to look some people in the face and say that, look, you can't be part of this in this way. One thing that happened was, okay, like one of the former presidents wanted to take care of the feeding, and I knew that yes, she does feeding, but she didn't have the capacity for that time. I cannot have people like Obasanjo, all these captains of industry, then they go and eat something and anything happen. I could not take it. So I can tell you that 98% of all the vendors, I never met any one of them. It was the event planner that brought them. And I said to the event planner, I said, I'll bring in some people from FGC Kaduna. If you don't want them, if they are not up to the standard of what you want, tell me. There's this lady I like, Esther. You all know her, Esther, the photographer. I mean, she's a lady after my. I don't know how the English is, but I really like Esther. She's one of my mentees. And that program was like I wanted Esther to come and do everything. When I told Esther to talk to the event planner, she didn't have the kind of equipment that is needed. When she started mentioning the equipment, me my fear, I said, Esther did not have that. Not to Esther, look, Esther on that time. This event is just too upscale for us not to have the best. And people were paying money, what sets we are paying for this thing. So I will not pay for something this good and not give you something that is substandard. It's not happen under my watch. So the only time I fought with the event planner, there's this guy that does our mirago, that does barbecue everything. She now said she had one. I said, even barbecue to supply goats, you mean you cannot supply goat? I said, no, 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 no. Give that goat to cow. I must give it to one of us. I can do everything. So, I can tell you, apart from Mirago, who was the vendor for the cow, and the cow that was used for, I guess, is for the cocktail and stuff, there's no vendor. You can go and ask her. I've never met them before. I don't know. The only contact I had with them was when I was signing in their checks. So the success is that we did it as professional as it should be, and that is why the output till today, more than 2 years later, I mean, we've had about 15 unity schools have celebrated their 50th. I've even consulted for them. So when I tell them, they were even scared that you people went to the. I will tell you this for a fact. I also had a secret praying team. Yes, I had three people, two seniors, and one pastor that were praying. And maybe I've forgotten, is it twice a week or something like that? We are praying for the success of this thing. So I mean, we handle the spiritual. You are expected to have success, and that's why you will see that when we fix the date, it was just divine. Because if you are fixed, the following week will have entered problem, because that following week is in short from the Friday of the cocktail. People started having problem with accessing money. That money issue with CBN. It was that Friday. People were wondering what's going on at the Hilton. People couldn't have money. So if you had done it that week, a week after, no, 48 hours after would have entered.